Welcome, everyone. Have you ever caught a younger woman smiling at you, only to quickly dismiss it as simple politeness? Maybe you assumed it meant nothing at all. But what if I told you that those smiles often carry a deeper meaning, one that many older men completely overlook? In today's video, we're diving into why younger women smile at older men, and what it truly means. We'll explore the subtle yet powerful reasons behind these interactions, and once you understand them, it could completely shift how you see yourself and how you respond. So stay with me until the end, because after this, you'll never second-guess yourself again. Let's get started. Reason 1. Stability is a powerful attraction. Many men underestimate just how deeply women value stability in a partner. While younger men often rely on charm, looks, or the thrill of excitement, they frequently overlook one of the most magnetic traits a man can have: emotional, mental, and financial stability. In a world full of chaos and uncertainty, a man who remains steady becomes a beacon of security. And whether they say it out loud or not, women, especially younger women, are drawn to that calm center. Let's break this down. Emotional stability. This is rare today. A man who handles stress, setbacks, and conflict without overreacting stands out. He doesn't lash out when things don't go his way. He doesn't panic when a woman pulls away. His emotional control shows maturity, and that quiet confidence is attractive on a deeply instinctive level. Mental stability. This isn't about IQ. It's about having a grounded mindset shaped by life experience. Younger men are often still trying to figure themselves out. They chase validation. They act on impulse. But a man with mental stability carries certainty. He knows who he is and what he stands for. That presence commands respect. Financial stability. This isn't about being rich. It's about being responsible. A man who manages his resources wisely, invests in himself, and plans for the future shows discipline and direction. That kind of structure tells a woman he's dependable, not because of the money, but because of the mindset behind it. You see, most younger people are still navigating life's uncertainties. They're reacting emotionally, trying to find their place, still wrestling with identity and control. But a stable man, one who walks through life with composure and clarity, becomes a calming, intriguing presence. Women notice that. Even if they can't explain it, they feel it. Something shifts in them. They smile, often without realizing why, because that kind of presence doesn't need to prove itself. It just is. Reason 2. Older men stand out from the crowd. In today's world, younger men often struggle with confidence, emotional maturity, and a clear sense of direction. That's why an older man's presence naturally stands out. Young women are used to guys their age who fumble through conversations, glued to their phones, trying too hard to impress. You see it in the forced jokes, the nervous fidgeting, the desperate search for validation. Through social media likes, constant texting, or exaggerated confidence. It's not their fault. They're still growing, but the insecurity is easy to spot. Then she meets an older man, and everything feels different. He's composed. He doesn't need to dominate the conversation. He's comfortable in silence. He listens more than he speaks. He's not scrambling for approval because he's already secure in who he is. That contrast is powerful. It doesn't shout. It speaks volumes in silence. Conclusion. Attraction isn't just about looks, charm, or fleeting moments of chemistry. It's about presence. A man who has built emotional, mental, and financial stability radiates confidence without saying a word. He doesn't chase. He doesn't seek attention. He simply lives with purpose, and that is magnetic. So, next time a younger woman smiles at you, don't be so quick to brush it off. There's a good chance she sees something in you that even you may have forgotten. Certainty, strength, stability, and that is worth noticing. He doesn't speak with flash. He speaks with presence. Instead of filling the air with empty words, he holds steady eye contact, listens with intent, and responds with calm confidence. He moves through the world with a quiet certainty, not seeking attention, yet effortlessly commanding it. He doesn't chase, doesn't need validation, and doesn't crumble under the weight of a woman's presence. He's there because he chooses to be, not because he needs to be. This quiet self-possession is what sets him apart. While younger men often seek to impress with bravado, flashy status, or forced charm, this man does none of that. His power lies in his presence. His composure is steady. His energy is calm yet assertive. He doesn't need to force laughter every 5 seconds or keep the conversation going out of fear. He's not afraid of silence. He welcomes it. And that, in itself, is rare and magnetic. She notices this difference. She's used to men who try hard to impress, who fidget and overthink, who turn conversations into performances. But now, here's a man who simply is. Nothing to prove. Yet, everything about him draws attention. The energy shift that captivates her younger women spend years surrounded by men who overcompensate, men who overreact, overanalyze, and overpursue. So when she encounters a man who does none of those things, it catches her off guard, in the best way. She notices the stillness in his demeanor, the ease in his movements, the strength in his silence. He doesn't panic if she takes time to reply. He doesn't flood her inbox with needy messages. And he certainly doesn't spiral over the fear of rejection. He moves with purpose, not desperation. And that purpose is incredibly attractive. It's not just his age, experience, or financial footing. Those things matter, but they're not the whole picture. What truly draws her in is how he makes her feel safe, curious, intrigued, grounded. He brings something new to the table, something refreshing, something stable, something that makes her pause and think, who is this man? Why do I want to know more about him? Reason. 3. Confidence is magnetic. Imagine this. A man stands in line at a coffee shop. He isn't fidgeting. He's not scanning the room or adjusting his posture for effect. He's just there, fully present. He orders with a calm, unhurried tone, shares a polite nod with the barista, and waits without a trace of anxiety. He doesn't try to be noticed, but people notice him anyway. A younger woman nearby catches herself smiling. She may not even know why. That's the quiet power of real confidence, something many younger men are still learning to develop. While youth often brings uncertainty, older men carry the calm self-assurance that comes only through lived experience. They've already walked through self-doubt, trial, and error. They don't need to prove themselves anymore. And that lack of insecurity, it speaks louder than words. They're not racing to fill silences. They're not over-explaining every move. They're not second-guessing how they're perceived. Their very being commands respect, not through force, but through authenticity. Women feel this, even when they can't explain it. When a man is genuinely confident, it's in the way he speaks, the way he listens, the way he simply holds space. She senses strength, control, and stability. And most of all, she senses that there's no desperation underneath his actions. He's not chasing attention. He doesn't need to. Confidence isn't loud. It's grounded. Most men spend their lives trying to be noticed, believing they must chase attraction to earn it. But the truth is, the most attractive men don't chase. They attract, because they don't need anything. They are already whole. Confidence isn't arrogance or domination. It's self-possession. It's knowing who you are and being completely at peace with it. And when a man embraces this, he doesn't just catch a woman's eye, he stays on her mind long after she looks away. Reason 4. Experience is intriguing. When a younger woman smiles at an older man, it's rarely about physical attraction alone. It's curiosity. It's her subconscious picking up on something different, something rare. She wonders, he probably knows how to have a real conversation. He looks like a man who's figured things out. There's an unspoken understanding that this man operates on a different frequency. He's not driven by insecurity, impulse, or a need to be liked. Where younger men might still be navigating who they are, this man has already arrived. And that difference, it draws her in, without effort, without words. Experience isn't about proving, it's about presence. Younger men often operate from a place of needing to prove themselves. They focus on impressing with humour, status symbols, or physical appeal. Many overcompensate, seeking approval, chasing attention, or trying to be the loudest voice in the room. But an experienced man is different. He doesn't need to prove anything, because he's lived enough to know that true attraction can't be forced. He understands that real confidence is quiet. He moves through life with calm assurance, fully comfortable in his own skin. And that energy, it draws women in without effort. What makes experience so attractive? It's not just wisdom or life lessons. It's the presence that comes with having lived through challenges, triumphs, and setbacks. A man who has experienced life develops a depth and emotional control that younger men are still learning. This kind of stability is magnetic. A younger woman, whether she realizes it or not, can sense when a man isn't reactive, isn't desperate for attention, and isn't seeking her approval. He listens when she speaks, not just waiting for his turn to talk. He knows how to hold space, how to be present, and how to make her feel seen, without expecting anything in return. That's powerful. Experience creates intrigue. This kind of man doesn't understand social dynamics because he studied them. He understands them because he's lived them. He knows how to have real conversations, engaging and effortless, full of substance, not just surface-level small talk. He's been through relationships, learned from them, and no longer operates from insecurity. He isn't trying to win anyone over. He simply is, and that self-assurance is deeply attractive. When a younger woman smiles at a man like this, she's not just reacting to his looks. She's responding to his presence, to his energy, to the quiet curiosity he inspires. She wonders, what kind of life has he lived? What insights could he share? What would it feel like to be around someone who doesn't chase, doesn't perform, just exists in a way that commands respect? That kind of magnetism can't be faked. It can't be rushed. It's the result of having lived fully, of having nothing to prove, yet everything to offer. Reason 5, she genuinely finds you attractive. There's a common myth that as men age, they lose their desirability, that youth is the only form of male attractiveness. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Many younger women are drawn to older men not in spite of their age, but because of it. The confidence, stability, and depth that come with experience are qualities that younger men often haven't yet developed. Sure, physical appearance plays a role, but it's not about being the youngest man in the room. It's about how you carry yourself. Salt and pepper hair, that's not a flaw, it's distinguished. It signals maturity. A sharp, well-groomed style, that's presence. A man with a refined look and grounded demeanour naturally stands out among younger men still trying to figure themselves out. But, beyond all that, it's the way he moves through the world that truly matters. Calm, collected, self-assured. He doesn't seek validation. He doesn't need to dominate the room to feel seen. He doesn't chase approval because he already respects himself. That kind of confidence, it doesn't beg for attention, it attracts it organically. Society lied to you about aging. We're often told that youth equals value, that once a man hits a certain age, his desirability fades. But here's the truth. Many younger women deeply appreciate what an older man brings to the table: maturity, intelligence, patience, stability. He's not playing games. He's not operating from insecurity. He's not trying to be everything to everyone. Instead, he listens. He moves through the world with grounded confidence. He lets his presence speak louder than his words. The smile means more than you think. When a younger woman smiles at an older man, it's rarely just being polite. It's often admiration, curiosity, attraction. She sees a man who's lived, who carries himself with calm authority, who doesn't need her attention, but still earns it effortlessly. She senses his capability, his composure, and the quiet, undeniable magnetism of a life well lived. The biggest mistake older men make is doubting their own value. They've been conditioned to believe they're less desirable with age, when in fact the opposite is often true. The men who embrace their experience, refine their presence, and carry themselves with self-assurance soon realize